From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
It's a big afternoon of Afternoons LALATE with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021 today. In this recording, we're going to go over the breaking news that came in with Chuck Schumer on Friday. The votes are being called, and away we go under fourth stimulus. Mayor Pete spoke about the same today. In this recording, we're going to go over the 9 breaking news stories that are absolutely incredible, that focus on that multiple stimulus check. That starts in the month of July and would be the single biggest payout you've seen in the history of this channel. Then, in the second half of this recording, we go over fifth stimulus that'll raise your benefits up, especially my veterans. And if you are on SSI and SSDI and other benefits as well. And how a benchmark that will be applied under fifth stimulus will not only be the best number of a generation, but will change your benefits for a lifetime. And then in the middle of this recording, we go over the hundreds of thousands of dollars that viewers will continue to get, and I want you to get it, and I'm going to ensure that you get it in this recording. It's a big Memorial's Day. I have all the great, incredible details, plus a special treat at the end of this video. Stay with me, and let's get to it. This is Afternoons LALATE. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's Afternoons LALATE, and hope you are having a beautiful Memorial Day. Thank you for joining in, and a big salute to start with, of course, to our troops and to our veterans. More about my salute to you later in this recording. But how are you? How's the weather where you are? Tell me where you're tuning in from, and tell me how the weather is. It is June gloom here still in May in Los Angeles. June gloom is in full force. You can see it's a little bit dark here in the set. That's why you can see the lighting is a little bit different. And it is just dark and gloomy, and you may need a sweater. But, that's Memorial Day, typical for LA, but hope the weather is good where you are. In this fourth stimulus check update of 2021, we're going to go over that monthly stimulus check starting from Jalopal's bill all the way up to Leader Schumer's call for the vote on Friday and Mayor Pete's statement today. It's all incredible great news. Then the second half of this recording, we're going to go over all the benefits that will be lifted up, including my veterans under fifth stimulus, and why the benchmark that will be applied will not only be the highest number of a generation, but will change your benefits lifetime. Wow. Then in the middle of this recording, we could go over the big money that viewers keep on killing it, getting big money every single hour, every single day, but I want you to get it as well. And I'm going to show you how in the middle of this recording. This is LALATE, your only 24-hour a day, 7 days a week financial news channel. Live in the morning, taped in the afternoon, and then overnight LALATE as well. Now expanding to nearly 12 shows per day, 24 hours of shows. We just finished our biggest watched overnight LALATE crypto show ever. That's a 15-hour broadcast. It killed our numbers. We continue to beat ratings and numbers every single day. So thank you. And with that, subscribe. LALATE is now at 400,000 subscribers in 1 year, a YouTube record. Next stop, 1 million. Also, like this video. Consider becoming a member, and let's get to the details of fourth stimulus starting right now. There is both a House bill from Jalopal and a Senate proposal when we talk about fourth stimulus. Let's compare and contrast and understand how they are slightly different. The House bill from Jalopal provides a stimulus check for the remainder of the pandemic plus 1 year. Let's see how that plays out and how that is different than the Senate proposal. The House bill from Jalopal provides a stimulus check for the remainder of the pandemic plus 1 year on a monthly basis. The Senate proposal provides a stimulus check from July to December. If you're watching the show when it debuts at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, jump into the live chat. Tell me where you're from and get ready to vote, House or Senate, but not just yet. Let's look at that monthly amount. So the House bill provides $2,000 the first month, $1,000 thereafter. The Senate proposal, the monthly amount is unknown, but word on the street is it's this. Oh yes, wow. $2,000 a month over 6 months, that is $12,000 a person. or $1,400 over 6 months, $8,400. That is per person. Now, before you vote, let's go back to Jolapal's House bill and understand what the macroeconomics is impacting. Here, many believe that legislatively the pandemic may be over by the time of the vote. That would mean that the House bill would not provide a stimulus check for the pandemic plus 1 year, but just 1 year, which would be 12 months of stimulus checks. And 12 months of stimulus checks under the House bill would be $13,000 over 12 months. Compared to this, over 6 months. So there you go. Get ready to jump into the live chat right now and vote Senator House. Which one do you like, Senator House? And if you're watching this late in the day, drop in the comments, Senator House, and tell me where you're tuning in from and how's the weather. All right, let's go over the other incredible details you need to know about this forced stimulus. First, who gets it? You do, including my veterans. Yes, you get it. So if you make less than $75,000 a single individual, you get the forced stimulus check. $150,000 or less, married couple, you get the forced stimulus check. Just double it. And then if you're on benefits like veterans, you get it. SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, you get it. The stimulus check is the same amount for adult dependents as minor dependents and everyone else. The stimulus check would not come out in waves because they don't have time to send it out in waves. This is a monthly stimulus check. And then the stimulus check would not be subject to taxes because it's not income. Finally, do we know anything about child support? That we don't know anything about yet. But remember, I'm just a reporter. I don't make the representations the legislators do. And they represent that the vote would be no later than July 4th. That means that the first check would be in the month of July for the month of July. And in the then following in the month of August for the month of August. And there you go. That is the start of your forced stimulus check update of 2021 in this recording. But I got more on that update coming up in just a little bit as we go over what Mayor Pete said today, what Chuck Schumer said on Friday, and why the vote is about to begin. All those incredible details, and you'll learn more about the voting process. But first, here's a preview of the second half of this video. Fifth stimulus, which heats up this fall and raises everyone's benefits, including my veterans, to the highest number they've seen in a generation. But guess what? The benchmark they're going to apply, because it's so high, will change your benefits a lifetime. Oh boy, I got all that wonderful news coming up in the second half of this video, so stay with me. But first, let's turn to the thousands of dollars you want to get right now. And you're just killing it, people. You are just doing a wonderful job. I don't go less than an hour without someone sending a message on social media, a private message, a message in the live chat, a message in the comments of the video saying, thank you, I got rent, utilities, or internet, or SNAP, or my mom did, or my sister did. You are killing it. So if you've gotten some money, I'm going to get you more. And if you've never got any money, you're going to get it right now. So get a pen and paper ready. Stay to the very end of this video. I got a lot of money to get for you, and it's starting right now. $350 billion is available for you. No, not all $350 billion for you, just some of it. It is money for rent, utilities, homeowners, mortgage, and homeowners' utilities. What is this? This is third stimulus that is landing in your city, counties, and states and continue to land next week. And the first one you want to get is rent. It's $5,000, 4 to 6 months of rent, so go get it. There's additionally money for home renters' utilities and homeowners' mortgage and homeowners' utilities. So where are you going to get that? I hope you got that pen and paper ready. Here we go. 6 locations: City Hall, City Housing Authority; County Hall, County Housing Authority; State Hall, State Housing Authority. The word you're going to say is rent assistance because of COVID. That's rent assistance because of COVID. For mortgage, you're going to say mortgage assistance because of COVID. You're not going to say the word stimulus. They don't know the word stimulus. You can also add the Biden Economic Recovery Act. Now, here's what you need to know, is that each location has different eligibility. So one may say no, and the next one may say yes. So keep on pushing. And there you go. 4 to 6 months of rent, $5,000 approximately. Wow. Well, I got more money for you. But first, Tim, congratulations. He got money for that rent. Linda got money for rent and utilities. Let's turn now to SNAP. Lynn got SNAP for her mom, her son, and herself, and increases. Viewers continue to win on SNAP. It has been a big winner on this channel. What is SNAP? How much is it? And how do you get it? Let me go over the details. First, what is SNAP? It's money for food. It is money for food. It is administered by the Department of Agriculture. How much money is SNAP? It's a fortune. A family of 4 in Hawaii can get upwards of $16,000 a year. Wow. Why so much? Because of two wonderful executive orders, one from Trump and one from Biden, that raised everyone's SNAP benefits up for 15% between now and December. How do you get SNAP? Reach out to Department of Agriculture, or DOA. Also call 211, get connected over to Department of Agriculture. And there you go. Wow, we are doing really well. 10 minutes of this video. $5,000 for rent. $16,000 for SNAP in Hawaii, but I got more money for you right now. One viewer got $5,000 for this. Let's go over the details and where it's coming from. This is automatic money. We love automatic money, don't we? This is coming from your states. I'm going to go over how much it is, how you get it, and when you get it. First, what is this? The federal government has identified states as overpaying unemployment benefits to you to no fault of your own due to computer error at the computer centers of the unemployment offices. So the federal government has noticed that those states asked you to return the money back to the states. That was an error. So what's going on? The federal government has ordered the states to return the money back to you. Wow. So one viewer is getting $5,000. How do you get the money? On the bank account you have on file with your unemployment department. When do you get the money? It depends on the state. Every state has different routing times, so reach out to your respective state for this money. Now, this next pot of money is wonderful, but I first want to give you this incredible, wonderful message, and it shows the embodiment and the spirit of the viewership of this channel, Purple Power. This viewer jumped into Overnight Crypto, our new hit show, which runs for 15 hours, 2 nights ago. Not to talk about crypto with me, but to talk about this. Money coming back from IRS to you for unemployment, taxes you pay on unemployment. He knows I'm in that live chat, and so he wanted to find me and say, LALATE, I want to tell you that I got my check last Friday, this Friday before Memorial Day weekend. Can you please tell viewers they're going to get it, to stay patient? Can you imagine how wonderful this is? A person jumping into a 15-hour show to find me to make sure you have that information. That is a true embodiment of how we help one another, how you help one another. So let's go over this incredible money. It is money from the federal government that you paid on your 2020 tax return for taxes on your unemployment benefits. We're going to go over how much you get, how you get it, when you get it, and how to track it. First, how much do you get? You get the taxes that you paid on the unemployment benefits. Here's an example. You had $9,000 of unemployment benefits in 2020. You paid $5,000 in taxes to IRS on that 2020 tax return. Congratulations. Of the $4,000 you paid to IRS for the taxes on the unemployment, you're getting that part back from IRS. Next, how are you getting it? In a envelope, unless you listed a direct deposit on that 2020 tax return. So go surgically through the mail over the next few weeks until you see that beige or white envelope that's razor thin that could easily be discarded. You do not want to lose a check for a couple $1,000s in the mail. Finally, when are you receiving it? IRS had made very clear that all the payments are sent by the end of May. Now, understand that's payments are sent, not payments are received. So look for the check between the first and second weeks of June. First, single filers, non-dependents get the check first, single filers complex returns next, and then joint filers after that. Finally, routing times. If you want to know a little bit about the routing time, 70% of this time, this trick works. Go to irs.gov, sign in, set up a username and password for free, put in your social security number, then do a transcript search. It will then bring up the activity under your social security number, your tax return you filed at 2020 to IRS, the taxes you paid, and the refund check coming to you. Congratulations, there you go. Really wonderful news, but it gets even better, and you know what I'm about to say. Chuck Schumer's statement on Friday. Absolutely wonderful news. Let's turn now to more about your fourth stimulus check updated 2021 today. And we're going to start with the breaking news today from Mayor Pete. But first, we're going to start with Chuck Schumer, Leader Schumer's statement on Friday. He confirmed not one, not two, but 3 details I have been reporting for over 2 weeks. He confirmed every single one of them this last Friday. First, he confirmed that bipartisan negotiations for purposes of the legislature are done. They are not continuing. We are underway, that the fourth stimulus negotiations are over. Number 2, that for purposes of the votes are now looming, and that the votes will be completed, the entire process, no later by July 4th. Number 3, he confirmed that the reconciliation process for fourth stimulus is already underway. Wow. He confirmed all three of those items, which I have been reporting for over several weeks, and made the announcement exactly on the day in which I told you he was going to make the announcement. Now let's go over the 8 to 9 breaking news stories that caused Chuck to make that announcement on Friday, bringing it all the way up to the present, even with Mayor Pete's statement today. It started with Jollapal, who you remember wrote that House bill for those multiple stimulus checks. When Jollapal wrote that House bill, it was co-signed by 100 House Democrats who wrote the president a letter saying, we are going to put those multiple stimulus checks in the fourth stimulus package. So what did Jollapal do? Jollapal, over a week ago, wrote Leader Schumer and Speaker Pelosi a letter saying, call the vote. What are we doing here? Call the vote. We've been waiting too long here. Call the vote. And ironically, now, that's exactly what Schumer's doing. So Jollapal's letter worked. What made the letter more incredible was Jollapal's letter was co-signed by about 12 House Democrats that are included among them of the 100 plus who wrote the president a letter saying, we are doing multiple stimulus checks. Wow. So among the people who wrote the president a letter saying, we're doing Jollapal stimulus checks, they're now writing Schumer saying, call the vote. It gets even better. A week ago, last Friday, 7 Democrats wrote the president a letter. And in that letter, the 7 Democrats said, we're going to work with you to put multiple stimulus checks into the fourth stimulus package. Now, work with you is a euphemism because the president doesn't write laws. He's the executive branch. He's not the legislative branch. So who are these people to say they're going to write your stimulus checks? They are in the House subcommittee that actually does that. Yes, they are in the House subcommittee that solely and exclusively is responsible for writing the fourth stimulus checks. After they wrote the first stimulus checks, the second stimulus checks, and the third stimulus checks. And they're writing the president a week ago saying, we're going to put those multiple stimulus checks in the fourth stimulus package. Yes. Oh, boy. Does it get any better than that? It does. A week ago this Friday, the president told insiders that he will stop his bipartisan negotiations the Friday before Memorial Day. And then after that, it's time for his legislators in the Democratic Party to call the votes. Wow. And so that's where we are right now, just as I told you. It's over as of this last Friday. Now, the president may still chat with people, but for purposes of the legislation, the legislators, they're not stopping. And then came Tuesday, the really great news from the president. Very complicated, but I'm going to slow it down so you understand it, because that's how I do it on this channel. The president's paying for forced stimulus by raising the U.S. corporate tax rate. It's at 21%, that U.S. corporate tax rate. So what did he do on Tuesday? He reached out to leaders of countries around the globe, the G7 countries, and asked them if they would agree to a higher global minimum corporate tax rate of 15%. And tentatively they did. Good news to start, but it got better. The president then told insiders that after forced stimulus is passed, if he can then get those G7 countries to sign on the dotted line to agree to a global minimum corporate tax rate of 15%, that he will then come back and reduce our U.S. corporate tax rate closer to what it was before the forced stimulus was passed. Wow, so multiple stimulus checks and a reduced corporate tax rate back to where we are, closer to where we are. That is really insanely wonderful news. And it got better. It got better when on Wednesday, those 3 Republicans introduced their counterproposal to the president's forced stimulus. And then the president said, no deal. Thursday, those people you've been wondering about, where are they? Those Senate Democrats came out and said, we've seen the counterproposal, call the vote. Chuck, call the vote. Yes, after you've been wondering where the Senate Democrats are, they actually said call the vote. And then on Friday, Leader Schumer said all those wonderful things. We are underway with the reconciliation process. It had already begun, but we are now officially underway. Number 2, we are finishing this by July 4th. And number 3, the voting's going to happen. And what did Mayor Pete say today? Mayor Pete said today ostensibly the same thing, that while the president can continue to chat with people, that there is a time and place at which negotiations needs to stop and we need to pass the legislation. There you go. A 2-step, 2-month process is underway, which will be finished no later than July 4th, but could be finished earlier. How does this voting work? I have all those details coming up in the second half of this video with more exciting news about forced stimulus, but also why veterans and my other beneficiaries will see their benefits raised up for the biggest amount they've seen in their lifetime. That's coming up in the second half of this video. But first, I want you to get this money for rent, utilities, and internet. And if you try to find it yourself and you can't, don't worry. Reach out to the volunteers. They're on the community page. Where's the community page? Open the description to this video. On the description of this video, you see an emoji of a house. Next to the emoji of the house is a link to a webpage, news.lalate.com/community. Reach out to the volunteers. They're on that page with a picture of some kitty cats. Lower on the page of the volunteers' names, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Reach out to them, and they'll be able to help you with that money. And I will be back in 60 seconds with you. But first, here's a little bit about the community page. Stay with me. See you in about 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on Afternoons LALATE, this wonderful Memorial Day across the United States. I'm so excited for you to join me. Boy, what a day it is. Coming up in the second half of this recording, we have a lot of breaking details still going over. We'll be going over fourth stimulus and specifically the voting process. And the fifth stimulus, how you're going to raise your benefits up, and a special treat and salute from me as well. So this is LALATE. Subscribe right now. I don't want you to miss a single video. I'm next back with you with Evenings LALATE. In 2 hours from now is Evenings LALATE. Then 2 hours after that is Evenings Crypto, our hit show. Followed by that by Overnights Crypto, our 15-hour broadcast. And now a special treat, no less than 4 overnight LALATE shows now on this channel. All throwbacks. You liked those overnight shows, so I'm adding 2 more. Now going from 2 to 4 overnights LALATE shows. Those are reruns before we go into a new show tomorrow morning on Early Mornings LALATE. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. Next up, 1 million. Like this video, 3,000 likes. It really helps the algorithm ranking. And consider becoming a member. In a second, you're going to see the value of membership. Let's go to fifth stimulus right now. Fifth stimulus will raise everyone's benefits up, including my veterans. Fifth stimulus heats up this fall with an add-on. That add-on is that SSI reform, but it's not just SSI. Let's go over the details. First, they're going to raise your benefit limits, your benefit levels up. They're going to remove the asset limits, add an inflationary benchmark, remove the income exclusion, and remove the marriage penalty. Okay, let's go over what that means, how it calculates, and how this will change your benefits for a lifetime. First, how does this work? They're going to raise all your benefits up one big time. Who's you? You. My veterans and everyone else. SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, survivor benefits, multiple beneficiaries, raised up one big time. Then they apply a benchmark, inflation. Now we know what inflation is, but what's a benchmark? A benchmark is what they use every December. In December, you get a letter saying, hi, next year your benefits are either flat or staying the same. Well, guess what? This time they will have a new benchmark, and that benchmark is inflation. Now, we need to figure out what that inflation rate will be in December. And there's a lot of new reports. Jeremy Siegel says 20%, that may be on the high end. The head of the Federal Reserve out of Georgia says the growth rate is going from 4% now to 10.5%. That sounds like 7% inflation. Then analysts are talking about 3 to 7% inflation lately. Let's choose 6% as an example and show you how this calculates out. First, they're going to raise up your benefits under fifth stimulus. Then, in December, they will apply the benchmark of inflation. Let's say it's 6%. Then your benefits next year will step up 6%. But not just next year, lifetime. Because that's the way a benchmark works. Once you step up, you never step down. So if in 2 years from now the inflation rate is 0%, you do not step down. You stay at +6. The year after that, it's 1% inflation. Then you go to +1, +6%. It's wonderful. With inflation expected to be its highest number of a generation, your benefits will go up this year and will stay that way for a lifetime. OMG. Yes, it's wonderful. Now let's turn to the other great details about this stimulus. They're going to remove that asset cap dating back to a 1980s law, which is going to go away. You'll be able to hold more than $3,000 on hand, just in time to get those stimulus checks in your hand. Then they're going to remove the income cap dating back to a 1960s law. It's going to go away. It says you can work and also receive benefits. Now you'll be able to work. And finally, the horrible marriage penalty is going to go away. Thank goodness. Finally, love is going to win. You will be able to marry your longtime love interest and no longer fear losing benefits, and no longer, as a married couple, suffer from the marriage penalty. The marriage penalty is going away. So that's this stimulus. And that's how it works. A two-bill, two-step month process starting September, likely out the door by about October or November they represent. And then the step-up letter December for January. Way we go. Now, it's important to understand that fifth stimulus has a lot of other money in there besides that. The president calls the fifth stimulus the American Family Plan, but it's a wrong name for the plan. Why? Because there's a lot of money in the plan that's for single people that don't have families. There's a lot of money in there for seniors that don't have family. There's a lot of money in there for single bachelors who are hazard pay. Yeah. So how do you find out about all this money? Becoming at least a member. The membership link's at the top of the channel, the pinned comment. Every day I deliver to viewers by the community page for this channel on YouTube what's in the third stimulus, what's in the fourth stimulus, and what's in the fifth stimulus. So you see what money you qualify for. In a 30-minute video is not enough time for me to go over everything that's in the fifth stimulus, or the fourth stimulus, or the third. With 3 minutes left in a 30-minute video right now, I don't have time to go through all those items. And that's why I deliver every day to you all the PDFs, all the delineation of everything that's in third, fourth, and fifth, so you know where your money is and you know where and how to get that money. It's also important to, at minimum, if you can't become a member, at least subscribe. Why? Because the month of July, no less than a month away, will be a very crowded month for legislation. Here's an example. In the month of July, they're going to be voting on a budget bill. It's not this budget bill. It's not this stimulus package. In the month of July, they may be voting on Jalopal bills. Yes, Jalopal has other standalone bills, so not this one. Yeah, see how it's getting complicated? And in the month of July, they'll be sending out stimulus checks, 4 stimulus checks. Guess what? They'll also be sending out third stimulus checks. A little complicated? It is. And that's how I keep it easy breezy for you. So at least subscribe. Now, let's go back to fourth stimulus, but first a tribute to my veterans. Boy, it's Memorial Day, and I want to salute you for your service to our country, for your wonderful service so that we can live as a free country in this wonderful time, free, safe, and economically safe from any intrusion. You've given us the opportunity to live as a country not in fear of foreign invasion or foreign troops come into our soil. We open our doors and we live in a safe, wonderful country because of your service to this country, and God bless you. I also thank you and your families for their support for you during your tours of duty, for both my armed service people who are actively deployed and my veterans. Also, please understand that I have been committed to you and will remain committed to you since day one of this channel. When this channel launched and I had less than a few hundred subscribers in the first few weeks, I made a video about whether veterans, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and Railroad beneficiaries could receive second stimulus checks. No one was talking about you or your issues. And that video went to 3 million views. It has never been heard of any channel going viral with 3 million views when it's newly formed. It was because the video was important, because no one was talking about your issues. Recently on Third Stimulus, I talked about different routing times for veterans, veterans who received stimulus checks early and other ones who got their own particular routing time as announced by the Veterans Administration. Under Second Stimulus, I talked about how the Veterans Administration ensured that there was important information on file there so they knew where and how to get your checks. So understand, I remain committed to your service. All right, let's go now to Fourth Stimulus. Fourth Stimulus is heating up this coming Tuesday. Well, tomorrow. That is tomorrow. And it's important for you to understand that as Memorial Day weekend is over, a lot of people will be back into the chats and into the videos. While the traffic has been wonderful, I mean, bonzo, wonderful traffic this week. I'm shocked. I expect it to be very, very high tomorrow. And here's what I need you to know. This channel is all about positivity. So if you see any negative comments in the chat, express to the viewer what the positive, correct answer is. And that negativity may come from people confused. I fully expect tomorrow that I'm going to see comments that say, they're dragging their feet, the legislator. They could vote this tomorrow and send out the checks today. We're hurting. They just don't want us to have the checks. I want you to know, and I want you to express the information to them if you see those type of comments, that it requires a 9-step voting process to pass a reconciliation. And that's under the Constitution. It's not under the doormat of Nancy or the doormat of Chuck. It's in our Constitution, and it's required to be done. So let me empower you with that information right now. There are 9 voting steps. The first half are procedural, and the second half are substantive. Let's go over them right now. Step 1 is the House members and the subcommittees need to call for a vote in the subcommittees, the procedural bill. Step 2, the House floor needs to call a vote for the procedural bill. Step 3, the Senate needs to call a vote for the procedural bill. And step 4, the president has to sign the procedural bill. At that point, the tow truck has passed over the finish line. Time to do the tow hitch, the substantive. Again, we repeated, the House subcommittee has to do the substantive bill. That's like that House Ways and Means Committee we're talking about with those 7 legislators who would put the multiple stimulus checks in at the Senate at the House level. Step 6 is the House floor votes on the substantive bill, like Jolopal's group. Step 7 and 8 is the senators have a 2-day vote-a-rama at which they vote on any amendments. This is when the senators would put the multiple stimulus checks in if the House didn't, or if the House did, then when the senators would modify it. And finally, step 9, the president signs into law. A 9-step voting process that clearly cannot be done in 24 hours or 48 hours. It's 9 steps. It takes a while. And I want you to be empowered with that information. Also, the Purple Power Push is going to heat up relatively soon, so get ready for that. And with that, thank you for joining me on a Big Afternoons LALATE. I am next back with you with Evenings LALATE in 2 hours from now. It's going to be a big show, so join me then. Then we're followed by Evenings Crypto, followed over after that with Overnights LALATE, with Overnights Crypto. So make sure you subscribe. Boy, we have had a run, and we are far from over. 400,000 subscribers. Next stop, 1 million. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like this video. Give a salute to your troops. Give a salute to your veterans in the comments as well. And stay informed, stay focused. I will see you next on Evenings LALATE. Have a beautiful afternoon. Stay positive, stay motivated, stay focused, and stay with LA for more.